Welcome to Stuck in My Mind podcast, the show where we dive into the mind of a regular guy on his road to self-discovery. You'll hear everyday people just like you share the latest topics, personal stories, and things they've learned along the way. And now, please welcome your host, Wise.
Okay, thanks, babe.
No,
this computer's
you
working.
didn't do.
Hello, Wise. Huh?
You need to
Oh.
do that. So now it's working.
Hello, Wise.
No, you need to add her.
No, he needs to add me. No, he's added me. You hear me, Wise?
Maybe here.
Volume down. No, I don't hear. I don't hear you. I don't know if you hear me, but I don't hear you. Let me check my audio. Audio. Oh, yeah, audio is working.
No, but you don't hear.
Oh, I don't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, now I hear you. Okay.
It was me. It was me. It was one of my settings. I didn't have my mic, so I was actually on Facebook Live talking, and nobody could hear me. Nobody didn't say anything. So how you doing? Okay, so welcome to the show, Joe Rickards. Hey, Joe.
Hey, welcome. Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Oh my gosh, nothing like a heads up. I'm doing fantabulous, Wise. I just, I wish I had your name. Oh my God, I wish I was Wise.
It's well, thank you. But how you doing today?
As my papa used to say, if I was any better, I couldn't stand it.
So, Joe, the reason you're on the show is because you have a unique story, man. You've early in your career, you were successful, you made a lot of money and all that stuff, and you weren't happy. And something happened, you lost it all. But now at age 50, you really truly found your place. You found your purpose, you found everything that in your life. Tell me what happened. What happened? What was the early beginning stages of your career?
I'd be happy to share my life story. Wise, first, I wanted to thank you for having me on your brilliant podcast here. I'm really honored to be on your show. This is actually my coming out of the closet episode 2 kind of thing. And I say coming out of the closet because it's kind of been my deep, dark secret that I went bankrupt. So now the whole world knows because it is really a humbling, humiliating kind of experience that one's masculine self doesn't really relish, right? So, but thank you for having me on. Yeah, basically my story in a nutshell is I went from kind of having the life of Riley, having a multi-millionaire, jet-setting life, traveling the world, and then basically ending up bankrupt, divorced, and homeless at age 50.
Wow.
But the good news is life really began for me at 50. I was bound to determine that second half, I was going to bring it home. I think, Wise, that really the purpose of life for all of us 7 billion people is we're all in the pursuit of happiness. No?
Yeah.
But what is that elusive happiness? We all, we're all brought up with the family that we're brought up, and we have the rearing, the upbringing that we do. We're instilled a certain set of values. And then at whatever age, 17, 18, 19, 20, it's like, there you go, boy, you're free to create whatever life you want. And for me, because I come from poor farming roots in Manitoba, Canada, we were always poor. My family, we ate, but we hunted what we ate, like I ate literally buffalo, elk, moose, deer. And, but my first pair of actual non-hand-me-down pants was that when I was 11 years old. And I remember that. So I grew up with this I'll call it this fear, I guess, this drive not to follow in my father's footprints. He was a great man, but he just didn't know anything about money. And I wanted more, So the pendulum for me swung too far that way towards a love of money, really, and creating this wealth. And so I looking back with the 2020 vision of hindsight, right? I see that, I had too much ambition towards material wealth and not enough on really what matters in life, which is at the end of the day, love, family, friends, right? And that's kind of the sum up in a nutshell. I don't know. How do you want to do this broadcast? I don't want to.
Oh no, we just
do a monologue.
Listen, we just here having a conversation. I just wanted you to let people know a little bit about the story, about what you've gone through, because you've like you said, because I kind of relate what you're talking with as far as finding your true self later on in life. Because with me, I didn't know what was my purpose in life. I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. I have a great career. I make good money doing what I do, but I wasn't happy with just that. So when I started my podcast and I was able to find my purpose let me start with the fact that it started with me getting over everything that happened in my life and finding a woman in my life that helped me get back on the right path and help me grow and like you said, like having a family and love, that's important. That's key. That is everybody wants to be like the materialistic stuff and all that, but being able to help your family and have a family to share those moments and everything, that's the most precious thing. I love the fact that I'm still close. Me and my family are close. That's a bond that we have, because to me, I was always raised with family's important. And for you, like you said, you found the materialistic thing first, but you weren't happy.
Exactly. At the end of the day, all that stuff, the newness and the sexiness of all that stuff,
It said stuff, exactly like how you said stuff. That's it. That's what it was, just stuff, things that can be replaced.
Yeah.
And you wasn't. And that's the problem with a lot of people now, is that they cherish their stuff more than they do their relationships and other things that help you build yourself up, because it's
for
okay.
me,
I'm not saying it's not nice to have stuff, whatever, but that's not the most important thing in life.
Exactly. It's not fun to be bankrupt and homeless. I can attest to that. Been there, done that. Really don't want to go back. But having said that, I mean, the wake-up call for me, I kind of liken it, like, I really relate to Garth Brooks' song, Unanswered Prayers, for those of you who know it out there. It basically, Garth says, sometimes God doesn't answer prayers, as the lyrics go, but it doesn't mean he doesn't answer. Just because you think he's not answering your prayer, he's not answering it, which is an answer to your prayer. You're just not the wiser yet. And for me, Yeah, my prayer was to become a billionaire. That was my focus when I was in my, you know, early 20s, and I'm very happy that prayer didn't come true. You know, at the end of the day, my unanswered prayer was everything, was my ticket. Yeah, I want to ask our viewers out there, how many, is this interactive,
Yeah,
wise? Can
yes,
we
it
get?
is. That's the reason I. Okay, so the reason I decided to go live is because I've been doing a live sports talk radio show, and we interact with the community out there. And to me, that was like so much fun. And I'm like, I want to include that into my show. That's why I started going live now. But yes, I have a friend, actually a good friend of mine, Jukebox Ginger, who's also a fellow podcaster, a great guy. I love him. He says, "How's everything going?" But yeah, if you have a question, if anyone out there has a question for John Joseph, just let us know. We're here just chatting it up. I'm just talking. But all right, so at 50, homeless, bankrupt, didn't have anything. What did you do to turn that around? What did you start doing to help that transformation to where you're at now?
Well, it's a very involved answer to that question.
Okay.
Because when you kind of like have the life of Riley, or so you think, and then you lose all the material stuff, you lose your wife, who is your best friend at the time, it really feels like it's over. It's like, it really does. It's the bottom of the bottom. So I found that for myself, I went through the 5 grieving, stages of grieving, right? To come out the other side, which is, what is the higher purpose of me having gone through this? I believe for me, that was the other end of the 5 stages of loss or grief. Why did this happen to me? There has to be a higher purpose. And I really started to seek that purpose. And I went, you know what? I said to myself, my ex and I, we used to fly here and jet set here and there. And we went to Vegas at least once a quarter, and not gambling, but just, we vacation 3 times a year for 2 or 3 weeks, a month. And I became more and more unhappy because we couldn't have kids. And that was one of the things that kind of deteriorated the marriage. Yeah. But not the sole reason. Of course, once you lose everything, that's the final kick. Safety and security is the number one need of most women. So, but yeah, so when I'm kind of down in the dumps, I literally went to live with my nephews, kind of like more like a brother, and on the edge of a mountain in Canada. And that's when I realized, okay, what I really wanted out of this life, my heart's desire since I was 20, was to be a dad, to be happily married and be a father. So I went, you know what? Probably most would say I'm over the hill to be a dad, but screw it. It's my life's dream. I'm going for it, baby. And I started to really embrace my dream. It really was my lifelong dream that, frankly speaking, I had given up on. And I embraced it. And I woke up every morning thinking about it, really focusing on it. And then the rest kind of just unfolded. And I don't know if you ever had life kind of unfold, kind of lay out the red carpet. You're in a bad place, but the red carpet, kind of like God's carpet, came out to me and went, okay, listen, son, just take the first step, second step. And the first step for me from homelessness, was getting on a plane and going to Ukraine. Believe it or not, I was invited to here's how it went. My best friend's wife is from Moscow. They're happily married now in Canada for almost 20 years. They have 5 kids. So her sister was getting married in Sumy, Ukraine. And she said, Joe, you got to get back up on the horse. You got to get yourself out there. You're divorced now. So my sister is inviting you to the wedding. So yeah, I ended up at the wedding, and life kind of unfolded for me in Ukraine.
Oh, that's this.
Well,
So yeah. Jukebox, who he's chimed in. He says he's been in a similar situation, but from another perception, and he learned a lot from his mistakes during that time. He grew from it, and he agreed with a lot of what you had to say. And so you go to Ukraine, you go to this wedding. What in the Ukraine transformed your life?
Well, again, a very involved answer, but everybody knows that pretty much the most beautiful women in the world come from Ukraine. And I can attest that that is true. So it was kind of like going into a candy store, to be honest. And so I went to the wedding. It was the best wedding of my life. It goes for 3 days. A traditional wedding in Ukraine is 3 days of partying. It's insane. It's so
3
much
days.
fun. 3 days. Yeah.
That's a whole lot of wedding.
And it's a lot of vodka. If you're lucky, you remember it. So, yeah, things kind of unfolded bit by bit. Again, I'm not. So I guess what I want to ask you viewers at this point, as I kind of unfold my story, is: have you guys ever been reflecting upon your breakup history, and you say to yourself, why do I keep attracting the same wrong girl for me? You know, like she's just, hey, it's like a cycle. I keep repeating this wrong. I'm hooking up with the wrong girls. Has that ever happened to you guys? Can anybody relate to that?
Well, it goes both ways. Why certain women hook up with wrong guys?
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah,
that's
totally.
You know what it is? It's at that time. I guess you're not when you're not ready to receive, like you said, when he's ready to unroll, when he's ready to roll out the carpet and let you know what is for you, what's the right thing and right person for you, whatever it is, it's gonna happen. Like for me, yes, I've been like, I was widowed at 31, and I had just after that I was just going having relationships and not really finding the right woman for me. And when I was able to and it's crazy how me and my wife met, because one of my best friends, she's like, it's like similar to you. She's like, it's time for you to get back on the horse. It's time for you to go out there and start finding yourself. And she said, she set me up on a dating service, and I met my wife through a dating service, and we hit it off. And one of the sexiest things my wife ever said to me when we were dating was, do you have a passport? And at that time, I didn't. And I was like, she's like, well, we need to remedy that, because I like to travel. I like to, and to me, that was like, she just opened up my eyes to a whole different world. Like she expanded so much for me, because I don't know, I guess I was complacent where I was at, but going through struggles. And so to be able to get back on the horse and open myself up and start putting out into the universe what kind of woman that I wanted and needed in my life, that's when it happened. Like, when I was ready to receive her in my life, that's when it truly happened.
Thanks for sharing your story, Wise. Yeah, I believe that, the universe or God, however your belief is, I believe God, he shows us what is the next step in our life when we're ready for it, because we're not always ready for it. So thank you for sharing. Back to my question about, meeting the wrong women. So for me, what I discovered is what I want to share. One of my takeaways for viewers here is that what I discovered on my quest, finding, okay, how am I going to find my soulmate? Because I really was searching for not just a friend or a lover or chemistry and all of that. No, I wanted the whole shebang. I wanted the soulmate. I wanted like kindred spirits. So in my quest, what I discovered, and plus I'm an engineer, so I'm very left brain scientific type. I discovered that, like, we all have a fingerprint or a thumbprint, all 7+ billion of us. Similarly, We have a unique, not as rare as a fingerprint, but we have a very unique love code. And if you not the right love code for a particular person, it's like literally the proverbial trying to take the square peg and fit it into the round hole. It just doesn't fit. And those relationships that just keep not working, bang, 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 and you just both feel like you're banging your head against the wall. Hey, you just have the wrong love code for each other. So I designed lovecode.info, and anybody can go there and take your free love code. It takes literally 2 minutes. And once you have your 4 letters of your love code, you then can understand first yourself and what is love to you. But more importantly, or just as importantly, you can take a look at all your friends, your family, and of course, your relationship, and see how you guys fit together, how well you fit together. And even if you don't, you can understand at least what is love to the other person better, much better. It's super slick. You guys are welcome to go there right now, lovecode.info, and find out your love code in 2 minutes or less. So for me, yes, at the end of the day, I did find my soulmate, and I'm happily married to her today. Her name is Anna. We have 2 beautiful daughters, 4 and 10. We're actually on a extended vacation in Cancun, Mexico right now. And yeah, life has been really interesting after 50. Really interesting after 50.
Oh, listen, I'm not that far away from 50. I turn 50 in a few more years. So, but it's crazy because again, for me, I didn't really find my purpose till like into my late 40s, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And when I found podcasting, this was something like, I'm like, oh man, this is what I want to do. This gives me an opportunity to reach people and help people out, especially with everything that was going on when I started my podcast. We had the pandemic, people were consuming so much content, and they were getting was so much negative content from the media that I was like, I wanted to start focusing on putting out some positive content, having people on who have inspirational stories that have been through stuff in their life, and have them come on and share their stories and show people like, listen, regardless of what you've been through in your life, there's always hope. There's always life. It's just like there's always that chance that you might be able to succeed. So being able to hear somebody succeed, especially if I might have some similar story and they hear it and I'm like, man, if they made it through this, I can do it too. And so that's
Absolutely.
why I started doing what I doing. I started doing what I was doing.
That's awesome, brother. I mean, yeah, that really is one of the keys of life, is finding your passion. And it's sexy to women. It's very sexy to women. A man that loves what he does, he's found his passion. They love to follow a man that knows where he's going.
And it's crazy because I was a big gamer, and I come home and after work and the wife. But when she started seeing that I was podcasting and I was serious about it, and that I stepped away from the gaming and I was focusing more on building a skill, because I've learned so much just from doing the podcast. It's just being able to just start doing it, and I've learned how to edit podcasts, video and audio. So that's helped me develop a skill and a talent that I didn't have before. Of course, being an independent podcaster, you have to learn branding, marketing, getting involved in social media. So you learn in the business aspect of it as well. But to me, it's so much fun being able to do what I love that I don't consider it work.
Exactly. Like Napoleon Hill said, you never work a day in your life if you love your job. That's why I say I'm already retired because I love what I do every day. I get up with a spring in my step. It really is one of the big keys of life. And just as my story unfolds, unfolds.
Listen, it happened. That's another reason I wanted to go live was things happen, technical difficulties, everything. People get their tongue tied, all that. It happens, but it's the part that it's so organic and people can see that it's authentic and people can see that it's just two guys up here chatting and having a good time and talking about what they love to do and talking about their lives and talking about your amazing family. You have two beautiful daughters, a beautiful wife. Just coming out here and showing people that, hey, these are real people. Hey,
Yeah, absolutely. No,
that's the best
I
part.
like live. It's one of my wife and I's passion. We have a YouTube channel. We go live every week, sharing our story and sharing what we do. So yeah, absolutely. What I was going to say is that as my story unfolds, back in Canada, I'm Canadian. I'm a Christian man, and that's the most important thing in my life is my relationship with God, and having a God-fearing wife and creating a Christian family. It wasn't good enough for me to just find a woman that wanted to have a family. So I found in Canada that I don't know. I just in my 30s, it was very hard to find a Christian woman, for me, it was anyway. I don't know if anybody else relates out there, but to stick to the Christian principles and find a woman, I just wasn't successful. Wasn't lucky. And what I found about Ukraine, one of the attractions of Ukraine is that 96% of Ukrainians are Christian, Ukraine Orthodox Christians. And it's really still the backbone of society. Now, okay, they're sinners like the rest of us too, but I'm saying that it's the backbone of society. It's not against the law, for example, to read the Lord's Prayer in school, like it has been in us since 1970-ish. Yeah. And so I found that Christian backbone, that fabric was still in play, in the traditional family roles were still in play, like my parents had and my parents' parents. And really, that's what I was looking for that I couldn't find in Canada, was that traditionality. So it wasn't all about beautiful women. It was about, creating that Christian family that I always wanted to. And that's what God led me to in Ukraine. I met my wife in front of a mall in Kyiv, Ukraine, just by chance, right? By God's chance. And it was just cosmic. It was absolutely cosmic. But as our story unfolds, what we did was my wife and I created a marriage agency in Ukraine called Match Guarantee, spelled with a Y.com. And that's both of our passions. We both create new couples and new marriages and new children every year. We have more and more. In fact, we built the #1 trusted brand in the world now, with the highest marriage success rate audited in the world.
Wow.
And of course, when the war happened, we were living in Ukraine. I lived with the family in Ukraine. And that's, of course, another story in of itself. But I saw this happening before it happened. And I give full credit to God. I believe he led us out of Ukraine 6 days before the war started.
Wow.
I was so tormented by what was going on. I was so what's the word? I was so led by Christ that we packed everything in Rubbermaid boxes. We lived right on the Black Sea, right across from Snake Island, where the Ukrainians flipped the bird to the Russians in the frigate. So that was our home, right across on the mainland, right on the Black Sea. And so we packed everything and left 6 days before. So it's been a roller coaster ride. So when I say we're on an extended vacation, it's more than half true. It is like a vacation here, but this is our new home until we go back to Canada, which will be in the spring. But yeah, the agency is our baby. We go live on YouTube every week, and life is just, like I say, pinched me. It's never been better.
So you create new couples and families, and that's amazing. That's great that you found your purpose in helping other people find love and help other people find the opportunity to have kids and help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Help them feel. Maybe that's like that was your dream. Now you're helping other people fulfill their dream of having families and all that. But it's I could imagine how it looks that after 50, you're having kids. Like, yeah, people would think that maybe or early 30s and stuff like that's a good time. But you, at the age of 50, decided that, yeah, this is my ultimate dream. This is what I really want, is to have kids. So, how's that experience been for you at this point in your life?
You know, it's amazing. Wise words can't even express it. All my friends, of course, are married with kids, and Christian friends, so they get married pretty young. And all my friends told me, we're talking, we're having a man to man, heart to heart, deep, and all my friends have told me, Joe, the most incredible experience of my life is when my baby girl or boy was born and I held them for the first time. And I understand this is my child, this is my baby. And that experience, and then raising them and all the precious moments that come along with it. They all told me that. And I knew that I knew. And that's a big reason why my marriage before it broke, is because we couldn't have kids. We literally biologically couldn't have kids. And it just happened the way it happened. But I knew that was my life's big dream, was to have children and to raise children. I feel like I have accumulated so much wisdom and knowledge that I want to give back. I want to instill in my children the right values, and just enjoy every moment of them growing up. And that's exactly what we do every day. We swim. We begin every morning at 7 a.m. with mango out at the pool. We swim, the whole family. We go with a big bowl of mango. We cut it under the gazebo. We swim for like 30, 40 minutes. Then the kids are off to school, and then they're home at 2. And, so we really do celebrate the whole family every day. And it really is, in Ukraine, they have an expression in Ukraine culture: children are the flowers of life. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, it's very beautiful.
It's so true. And I just, it's amazing. And where the plot kind of thickens for me is that I'm not the biological dad. So they're both Anna's children from an ex before me. And so I came into the picture with a ready-made family. Lizinka, or Elizabeth, was 1.5 when I met Anna, 1.5. And Irina, our other daughter, was 8, or just about 8. And so even though they're not my biological children, I love them as if they're my own, flesh and blood.
I know that I have 2 beautiful stepdaughters that I love very dearly. Well, 3 and a beautiful and a son that's done that. And so I know the feeling of raising stepchildren, and I love them like they're your own. Listen, blood just makes you relative, but it's truly what's in the heart that makes you family. And so
blood doesn't make the dad, as they say, right?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't, because there's been plenty of stepdads that have stepped up to become their dads, and as some of them, they need more. It's more. They need to be more men like yourself that do step up, and there are quite a few out there that step up and become, and that are great stepdads. And like I said, blood just makes you relative, but it's the heart and the love that makes you family.
Exactly. Well said. Yeah, and we're actually, we're got another one on the way. So hopefully,
congratulations.
Thank you. So it really is just incredible. It's incredible. And the thing is, with our Western mindset, and just with the way it is in America, Canada, in the West, when a man is 50, you're just that window of opportunity to become a dad. It's closed. It's pretty much closed.
Like I said, that's, people look at you like you're crazy. They look at like, you're 50 and you're having kids now. Now? This is the time where you need to start thinking about retirement and stuff like that. You ain't supposed to be thinking about cleaning diapers and all this other stuff.
Yeah, and here I am, 57 now, and I'll have my first little one. So, but again, my other second big takeaway really my biggest takeaway message for viewers is that if that happens to be you and you're listening to this thing and you're 50 or around there and you've always wanted to be a dad and it just wasn't in the card for you, maybe you focused on material wealth like I did, pursued the corporate ladder like so many of us have, and really you felt like you missed out on this life and it's too late for you. I'm here to be that voice of hope that, and I'm telling you, man, it is not too late for you. It wasn't too late for me. However, it is a tall bar. I won't blow smoke up here. You know what? It's a tall bar. And the thing is, one of the messages I have for you here today is that Ukraine, it's a different pond. It's a different place. It's like Mars, really. It's like we live in Venus and they're Mars, because their values, the way things are, the lack of good men or good husbands there really has driven an opportunity for other men from around the world that want to be married to a single mom, for example. And that's a whole nother topic, because these are not the single moms that you're used to. They're just, again, different set of values. So those of you guys, because there's a lot of guys that diss single moms, and that's another topic. I'm not going to go down that slippery slope right now. But I'm just saying, Ukraine single moms, they're looking for a husband, a father figure. They will let you be dad, you know. And that opportunity exists because of the big imbalance between quality men in Ukraine and quality single women. It's actually 10 million more single women than men if you add up all the former Soviet states, all the former USSR countries, including Ukraine, Russia, and all of the Baltics, everything. 10 million. So it really is another world, and I encourage any guy to, at least check it out. And what I just did was create a free YouTube channel called ukrainedating.ca, and that will forward you to the new YouTube channel. And you can actually talk to Ukrainian women, quality Ukrainian women, handpicked, because I want them to be representative of what are true Ukrainian women with the traditionality. And you can talk to them every day of the week for free on YouTube. You can chat live with them. They're on video. They'll talk with you on chat. You can even call our number and talk to them live on the phone. And the reason I did that is because there are a lot of myths out there that need to be debunked about Ukraine, Ukrainian women, the whole opportunity to marry a Ukrainian woman. It's a very slippery slope in terms of what's truth and what is reported in the media and what is kind of reported when you Google beautiful Ukrainian Russian. Or let me just suffice it to say, the first thing you would need to do if you want to look at this is get yourself an education. And this is the best place, ukrainedating.ca.
So has it, with everything that's going on over there, how has it affected everything? Has it affected the dating site and service and all that?
Well, it's a great question, Wise. It was catastrophic, of course. When we got out with our lives. We left everything, our home on the sea, clear title, paid for, car, stuff, right? Everything. And we got out with a suitcase each. And here we are in Mexico. So first thing that happened is the first week was just complete shock. You don't even know what the F just happened. All of a sudden, your ass is out. We escaped over to out through Romania, and you're just like, can it be real? Like all Anna's family, my wife's family, being. Oh, sorry, I just had a signal pop up. Is being, bombed, right? I mean, you got rockets, you got shelling, and they're all from Kyiv. So Kyiv and south of Kyiv, and so relatives, and so you're just in complete shock. After week one, when we did what we could to get family out first, then we started thinking about the ladies in our database, which is about 1,300. And it was just pandemonium, right? Just pandemonium. So we started a charity, Ukraine Refugee Fund, and we raised about $17,000 on our YouTube channel of guys that really, I mean, the world wanted to help out. I mean, the world really was compassionate against his deplorable actions of Putin. And we quickly placed the money with our ladies and their families to help them get out. So evacuation, help them with anything that they needed in terms of dire needs. And that money went into their pockets. And so we helped a lot of ladies. Right now, most of our ladies are outside of Ukraine as refugees, and they're living as refugees in countries all over, mostly Europe. Some are in Canada and America, but mostly around Europe. And it's tough times for them, obviously. It's probably the toughest time of their life. They've lost everything.
Yeah, they're displaced from their home. They're displaced from the ones that they love. I can imagine. That's what we don't. That's one of the things that they don't focus on here is the people. They're just worried. You see all the politics and all that nonsense, but it's what is the people going through? The people are the ones that are suffering through it, and it's great that you're able to help these women, especially like you said, they're single mothers, need help, and I commend you for that, man. That's great that you were able to do that fundraiser and get these women the help that they needed. So
I give all the glory. I give all the glory to God and our YouTube followers, because it's all from them, and it just happened. I woke up one morning and said, "Got to create a charity." My wife said, I said, "Well, guess what? It was done within an hour." Crazy. That's not me. I'm your average Joe, but turns out on PayPal, there's a button, create a charity link. Yeah. And boom, now it's got a page. I was able to put a video on it, and boom, we were a charity, makeshift, as it were, right? But we were up and running. And yeah, like what you said, mainstream media, it's just another point. Having lived through this war, having family there, having lived in Ukraine for 6 years, I can say mainstream media just doesn't report enough the human equation of this war right now. Especially now, it's getting less and less that they're, it's more on the kind of the political side, the logistics of who's winning and how many pieces of armament are here and there and which missiles, But I can say the other reason I started this YouTube channel at ukrainedating.ca is you can ask, these are Ukrainian, for the most part, refugees. In fact, I think, well, no, not all of them. Some of our Ukrainian ladies in the States that are already out. So, but yeah, they're still refugees. They're all refugees. Everybody I'm just trying to think of all the ladies because we just started the channel. Everybody is a refugee. So you can ask them, what is their story? How did they get out of Ukraine? Where were they living? What was their family experience? And you can talk to them. And really, you want to get the news, the real news, ask these genuine ladies live on YouTube chat at ukrainedating.ca.
And that's the great thing about content creators like yourself and myself. We're able to have access to real people, like
boots on the ground. Right?
Yeah, we're on the ground. We're hit. Yeah. We're like that's one thing. That's one thing. Especially independent podcasting and content creators like yourself that are independent. That don't focus with main media and stuff like that. Like you said, we're boots on the ground. We know what is going on in these streets. Where we know what's going on in society. We know we're the people.
Yeah, it is really cool that, where media has gone in the past decade, right? Because now your average Joe can have his own TV show, right? I mean, that's crazy when you think about it, but it really gives an opportunity. It gives everyone a voice that has the gonads to get up and put yourself out there.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's why like one of the couple of guys, like everybody that's been chatting is our fellow podcasters, like Rod Uncensored. He stopped by. He was. I had a guest yesterday scheduled, and I guess since it was a holiday, they must have forgotten and didn't and they didn't show up. So I had him step up, and he stepped in and was a guest. And then we have Harold, who's also a podcaster, and he does this. He also enjoys it for the same reason that, and he talks about that just being able to express yourself and show what's truly happening out there with whatever, and like, and that it's crazy because you was in Ukraine and you were able to leave 6 days before the war started, and you're able to now do your YouTube show, and
From Cancun, Mexico, on the beach.
Yeah,
It doesn't get better.
it's crazy. Look how far it's come with, as far as technology and stuff. That you're, like you said, you're in Cancun, Mexico, doing a show, and you have a lot of these. You can have these Ukrainian women come on and share their story, and share what they've experienced being away from their country or being away from their families, and see the human side of it all.
Yeah, you know, it's wild. It was my brainchild from 2016 that I need to have. I had the name for it and everything. Live Honest Chat from 2016. I tried to create an app. Well, I did create an app. It crashed and burned. It was an expensive lesson. It crashed and burned, and then it hit me. Just literally, I created this channel within the past month. It hit me. Hey, why do I need an app? YouTube has the perfect platform. I'll just have ladies. Of course, I pay them a salary to chat. You know, so I hope my hope is that the channel will pay for itself. It won't be a loss, but it'll be a nonprofit channel, and it's just a forum, a medium that, because it's nowhere in the world where you can chat with a particular group of people for free on YouTube 7 days a week, right? It's not out there. And there's a big industry. It's actually $3 billion a year.
You go live 7 days a week?
We're live 7 days a week, not 24/7. We're starting.
I know 24/7, but 7 days
that's
a
my
week,
goal.
that's a lot of work.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
That's my goal. 24/7, 365 is my goal. I just launched, and I believe it will get there, because this is why. And we're going to get down and dirty now. There's a $3 billion industry. It's most commonly known as mail order bride. That's complete and utter bullshit. Are you guys getting it? It's all bullshit. It's these photoshopped, beautiful cover of Vogue magazine girls, and they just charge you per minute, video, chat, letter, open a picture, $10. And I deal with these scam victims every day. In fact, I have another YouTube channel called Mail Order Bride Scams, and I do Scam School live for 5 hours every month. The last Sunday of every month is Scam School, and it's guys, usually 5, telling their story of how they lost 10, 20. Last time was $100,000 scammed from these ruthless companies out there that are these chat sites. So that's another goal of mine, is to just, slay the dragon with this Live Honest Chat on YouTube. These ladies are real Ukrainian women. So they're there to dispel all the myths. And the other thing is that this $3 billion ugly industry has given a bad rap to Ukrainian women, and they don't deserve it. They do not deserve it. Best people, like salt of the earth people. I know I live there. I'm married to one. I have in-laws, but this industry has just painted it all with an ugly brush. So that's another big reason for creating the channel.
And that's good, man. That's good that you're doing some good things, man. Like I said, it's when you provide a service for people to help uplift them, to help them get out of the situation, then you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and the thing is, it feels good. It feels really good to do the right thing. You just feel and bubbles all the time. You wake up in the morning with a bounce in your step, and just life is too short to be consumed by anything really that's negative or bad. It's just too short. Don't need it.
Oh, absolutely, it definitely is.
And just listen, if any of you guys that are listening are skeptics that have been one of the victims of these online, it's called PPL or pay per letter site scams. Just Google our agency, Match Guarantee, spelled with a Y, reviews, and 107 video reviews of past clients on the YouTube channel, and then lots of just other reviews. We have a 4.5 Trustpilot rating. And just check for yourself. I always say to everyone, do your due diligence, dig deep, and at the end of the day, trust your gut. Our gut is our sixth sense, and we don't listen to it enough. Always trust your gut. It doesn't lie to you.
No, I don't.
You're Googling me right now, I can tell.
Actually, I'm copying the link so I can put it in the chat if anybody wants to check out the site.
But the main message I have for all you guys out there is don't give up on love. If you're tired of the dating scene in your pond, which might be America, it might be Canada, it might be Australia, whatever is your pond, you're tired of the hookup culture. You're just tired of where dating has gone. It's not working for you. Believe me, I talk to men every day that tell me that. Hey, there is another pond with different fish, very different fish. Give it a shot. Check it out. I mean, the great place to start is our new YouTube channel, ukrainedating.ca. And you just decide for yourself. You'll talk to our ladies. You get to ask them the questions and you'll see what they're made of. And you decide if they're the same type of lady that you're used to dating. They're serious women. They're not about playing the field or anything like that. No, they're looking for a man that wants to settle down, wants to get married. So if you're not that, forget it. The Ukrainian woman's not for you. If you want to play the field and all that, Ukrainian woman's not for you.
All right. But Joe, it's been great having you on, man. This has been fun. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Wise, it's been amazing.
We had a little technical difficulties at the beginning, but that's the amazing thing about podcasting. You get through it and just continue to grow.
Thank you, Wise. I appreciate the opportunity.
But don't leave yet. We're not done.
Okay.
Now you get to plug everything. Now you plug away everything. Really promote everything one last time before you go.
I'm already done. I mean, I plug guys this. Don't ever give up on your dreams. Really, I implore you, whatever your dreams, if it's another department outside of love or whatever, but yeah, don't give up on love either, but don't give up on your dreams. Really, you know when life is over? It's when you don't have a dream anymore. That's when life is really finished, or in pleasures of life, it's finished. So don't give up on it. Always have something you're shooting for. Shoot for the moon, or as Napoleon says, shoot for the stars. At least if you miss, you'll At least if you miss, you'll hit a cow pie. Something like that. In other words, don't give up. Always be shooting for the moon. Yeah.
I know what you're just trying to say. I can't think of. I know it. I can't really think of it myself. I know if I try to say it myself, I'll be tongue-tied myself. So, but thank you so much for being on the show. But don't leave just yet. We're gonna chat a little bit more off, so I can tell you about when we're gonna release that episode. Well, it's already released, but yeah,
we're live, baby.
Yeah, cool. It's live. Yeah, I got to get used to the fact that I'm going live now. Like this is probably like my 4th episode going live.
Oh, cool. I love live because listen, I'm also an editor. I learned something in university. My statistics prof, he said, statistics is a license to lie. Well, it's true. And I will add to that, video editing is a license to lie. I mean, you can edit something however you want, but you can't do live. You can't cover live.
Live is, that's another reason I went to live, is to save on me having to edit so much. Yeah. It saves on that. So that's
raw and real, baby. It's the best way to go.
Yes.
And if there's anybody, like I say, I guess my final plug would be, you owe it to yourself to understand your love code, because first you need to understand your own love code if you're going to love someone else. Then next step is, by understanding your love code, you'll understand what's a good fit for you. So you fit together. You're not like this, you don't fit, you just keep smacking. So lovecode.info. And in 2 minutes, you'll understand your love code. Long explanation. And then get everyone that you care about. We know our children's love code, even the 5-year-old. And once you know it, you can deliver what they perceive. This is the key, as love. Because as John Gray said, author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, we all have a different love language. It's close to love language, but it's something different. The analogy he uses is for me, if love is tomato soup and you is chicken soup, you keep giving me chicken soup because you want to show love. And I'm like, what is this? To me, love is tomato soup. And I'm giving tomato soup to my partner because I'm trying to show love. But her love to her is chicken noodle soup. So it's just, you owe it to everybody they care about, all your family, your friends. For work, very important to understand as well, because you want to talk about ability to persuade, to negotiate, to communicate. You need to know somebody's love code and love language. So I strongly recommend. And the other plug I'll make is simply to ukrainedating.ca. It forwards to our new YouTube channel where, you can talk with real Ukrainian ladies. Some are married, some are single. I only had one selection criteria when I hired on, and that is that I know them personally and they're true blue. They're a good representation of real Ukrainian women. Some are sassy, some are real sassy, and some are very feminine and accommodating. It's all just, it's a great representation of Ukrainian women. So go chat with them. 7 days a week you can chat with them. Doesn't cost you a penny.
Awesome.
I guess a final plug, if there's anybody that's really serious and you really want to talk to somebody about what is your opportunity to meet and marry a beautiful Ukrainian lady, you got a million questions. You're afraid. Very normal. We offer a free matchmaking consultation, a coaching consultation. You just go to matchguarantee, spelled with y.com/register. And you book it right there. You will fill out a questionnaire and you will book it. It's a no cost, no obligation. Just talk to somebody and see if you think it might be a fit for you.
Awesome. Joe, thank you once again for being on the show, man. Greatly appreciate you. Don't leave just yet.
My pleasure. Thanks again, Mike.
But thank you for being on, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, now it is time for shout outs. Big shout out to a Real Wise fan, Brandy J, Bobby J. Big shout out to everybody who came in through the chat. Jukebox Ginger, thank you for the love. Rod Uncensored, Harold Brush, everybody who checked us out on all the streaming platforms that we're on. Big shout out to the boss lady, Fina. Love you, baby. Big shout out to our guest, Joe Rickards, for coming through and check out his site and check out his YouTube channel so you can talk to these Ukrainian women. And as always, a big shout out to all the essential workers out there. God bless you. Be safe. You know how your boy Wise does it. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Listen on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, and TuneIn. Find us on social media on Twitter at @wise_b_blunt, Instagram at @wise_b_blunt, and a Facebook fan page, www.facebook/wise76. Check back soon for new episodes. Until next time, peace out.